Alright, so welcome to Mamoli Lexington Part 5. I'm Rich, this is my show, RMAX Models. And those of you familiar with the shop layout will notice different camera angle. Well, during this whole footage, it was Father's Day, that's today, and I cleaned up the shop. And you'll get to see how I not only finished this bit, for the most part, but also got started on kind of evening out some things before I move on to the second planking on the lower bit, which will be the subject of the next video. Alright, but, well, you've got a whole video to watch, I guess, before we get to that, so, here we go. And go we do. As you'll see, I thought I was just doing the deck today, but turns out I'm also doing the side walls of the top of the ship too, which is alright, so I'll explain that a bit. But I have a question. I'm noticing that a lot of these, bits of me building parts of the model, like decks, planking, get kind of monotonous after a while. Really starting to see the wisdom of what other people do when they film all this, which is just to film little bits here and there and really show off the finished build or something. So I'm going to ask y'all, what would you prefer? Put this in the comments. Do you want me to continue the way I'm going, which is you will see every little thing and, in essence, suffer with me? Do you want to see more of the summarized version where you get to skip all the unpleasantness of watching me just plank and plank and plank until the meme is dead? And, or would you prefer some kind of hybrid approach where, yeah, every bit I put out something so you'll see what I'm doing, but it might just be fairly quick because it was just planking or just painting figures or something? Please let me know in the comments. So, in all that, I got done with those sidewalls, which is essentially laying the pieces in place, using those pins to try and keep them going, and then, or keep the planks on those walls, and then cutting them with, at first it was a scalpel, and then I found out I could just as easily and simply remove things using the Dremel, which I did, to remarkably good effect, all things considered. Now you see what I'm doing with the calipers is cutting out 50mm lengths of these new planks, which is what the what was recommended by the instructions. What I also did though is cut out some 25mm lengths to get that staggered deck look, because it recommended staggering the planks, which I agreed with, because yeah, that just looks right, rather than the wrongness of all of it being lining up, which you would never do because structural strength is something you care about. So as you can see, now I just use a stick, lie on the remaining planks, because I remembered, oh wait, I forgot to do some more of the planking work on one of these walls. And then you see me cutting things out, and okay, so I'm sorry I messed up the order of cuts made. And then, of course, just happily watching YouTube videos as well, because this is a hobby of mine after all. And there we go. I'm putting the planks on as a little bug crawls all over the shop, and I don't notice them. Otherwise, I'd have tried to smush them. So there I go. I try using super glue to make the thing stay in place initially without the use of the clips. Doesn't really work so good, so I put the pins in place. I think the instructions did recommend using clips, which me, like a fool, didn't have. Oh well, as you can see, I'm making all the cuts I need to make, and eventually now I go to the Dremel to Dremel these out. Yep, and it worked really well. As you can see, just going along. I even wore goggles. Yeah, goggle a day keeps OSHA away. I don't know. I don't even know how OSHA would handle this, and I really should check if I do this and it gets really popular and it starts becoming an income source. You really gotta wonder just what OSHA's gonna do, because it's me doing the dumb stuff. But is it work? Is it not? Yeah, I gotta wonder. I mean, and I'm not some big corporation that can just ignore OSHA. I'm the little guy too, so oh boy. Alright, but enough of that series of joking around, because that gets old too. even older than the planking meme, we go ahead and just watch me do a bit of evening things out, doing a bit more, just shaping out those holes, filing them down, trying to get them square. And then I took a bunch of these little strips of wood that are meant for the planking the deck, and cut them in those 50 millimeter sections. And yep, lose one or two, find it, grab a bunch more. We can all marvel at this fly that's just been crawling around the corner of the screen and various parts of the shop I don't notice. So yep, there I go though, putting all the pieces on. And yeah, just cutting them down. That little line was also recommended by the instructions to try to keep everything straight or something. And I found I did pretty good considering this is my first time building a wooden model boat. So there I go. Now I lay the first one, then the second, and now you'll see why I made those 25 and 50 millimeter lengths. It's because I wanted to stagger it and have it be easily staggered. So there we go. As I go with the deck, you'll notice that, the deck's outline changes. So sometimes I'll try to put a little piece or a big piece in a place, and then I cut it out to fit on away from the deck, and then I glue it in, put it in after. And this is about what I do for the entirety of this decking experience. Huh. Wow. If I were a smart man, if I were a normal and a smarter man, I'd end the video right here and we just get to the glorious end. But no, we have more to discuss, my friends, for you see, that little cardboard shelf right ahead of me is going to fall apart at some point, and I'm going to miss it until after it happens. And while it thankfully doesn't wreck the model or anything, I do end up reorganizing the shop a bit. So you got that to look forward to. As I, again, keep staggering, planking, and even changing the camera view a little bit. So I use a stick to lay on the glue. That was relatively easy. And you can even see I'm getting the planks, to follow along just by cutting things out. You'll also notice that if a plank won't fit in, I cut around it so that it fits in place. I tried to be good and even with that, but there's only so perfect you can get with your hands. As you can see, I also end up approaching the mast holes, which you want to keep available through this layer of decking. So what I ended up doing is I put one plank over, let it dry, then I would cut it out, and then put the other plank over, let that dry in place for the glue, and then cut it out, and that way things stayed together pretty good. It worked. That's good. So, yep. What to talk about? Well, I'm just one with the sticks, I guess. Huh. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's Father's Day. I could tell dad jokes, but no, the whole dad angle on YouTube has already been taken by people far prettier and more wholesome than me. Yeah, there I go. As you can see, that part of that was cutting things down, and here's an above view. We finally had a good way to get one, and there's me drummeling the second set of the cannon holes. Thought I did it before, but I guess not. Yeah, it's been a while since since I filmed that bit. Yeah, as I've mentioned the last time, still dealing with the aftermath of my friend's wife, unfortunately. May she find peace. Anyways, enough of that. Let's get back to this. Rather than sad, we'll just have boring. I'm really starting to see the wisdom, guys, of not putting all this into. The problem is, sometimes I end up with a lot of monotony done because, well, yeah, it's like, these projects, you understand, take a couple months to do. So, unless I were, like, doing it full time, in that case, hey, sure, that's great. but I'm not going to be able to do this full time. That sounds like a great plan and everything, you know, as the rock music kicks in, but no, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Let's just say that YouTube would be paying me top tier to even match what I make at my job. So, alright, as you see, there is a perfect example of me cutting out a little bit of the space between planks to fit other ones in. And now you'll see I leave that gap in this over this first mast hole present until I cut out the other, you know, boards after letting them dry for their glue. And of course, now the thing pauses on me. There we go! I fixed it! I saved it! I don't gotta scream in rage, but I do have to cut this recording a little short so that we can see the slow-mo segment coming up right about now. Alright. So, figured y'all might like a new camera angle, and I've been wondering... Excuse me, I got a cold. How do I, you know, get views from up above for a while? So, this is my solution to that. Alrighty. So yeah, mounted it up on one of the ceiling things, and as you can see, lots of progress made on this deck, but still plenty to go. Better get back to it then, and cut out some more lengths of this while I'm at it, because this is the last one, and I need a lot more. Alright, with this choice of music and the planks going on the deck, I guess I have decided to just enter weapons-grade monotony and tranquility. And... okay, no, I did that on purpose. But yeah, I just, you know, keep going on, planking away. Now you'll notice, though, that I'm using one of the planks I cut out from before, since they don't gotta be any staggering of 25 millimeter or 50 millimeter. I can just make them all 50 millimeter now because I'm part way along the deck, and I did a lot of 25 stuff at the beginning. So as you can see, now it's just put them in, cut to shape where needed, and just, cover the whole deck and then make the cuts where appropriate. And this second batch that I make is a bit bigger, and it lasts me for quite a while. Oh, I guess it wasn't just planking. I guess it was cutting, too, that I did. Not sure if I should make a joke about such a dark subject. This is the part where I give the obligatory "there are mental health numbers, call them," but I don't have them off the top of my head. Of course, what's interesting is if you Google things like if you Google the obvious statements, it will point you to appropriate sources. Talk about being a good global citizen. Okay, now we have a bunch of plank. We have more planking than the meme. We have planks on planks on planks. We have enough to, I don't know, burn my sad sense of humor at the stake? Nah. Alright. So, I gotta think of something funny. Hey, at least it's not watching paint dry. Okay, so you see there where I just did that, cutting out that hole? Yeah, so these things had dried, and then I glued in that next piece. And as you'll see, I still use the knife to widen spaces where I think they're needed to fit things in. And yep, just merrily pushing things in and planking away. Doing the deck, and then I'll be doing in the next episode of this, I'll be doing the sides of the boat, but hopefully that goes a lot faster for everybody. Alrighty. But yeah, and then after that, it'll be actually adding like the deck fittings and other interesting bits. That will probably be a little more interesting, and that'll make the boat look like it's going a lot faster. I'm thinking I'll be done with this. If I had to venture, I guess it'd be August. Then I can get back to the Dreadnought. Hey, nice, hopeful, upbeat music for everybody that didn't, die of boredom there. Wasn't there a Monty Python about that? Or no, there's a Monty Python skit, not about boredom, but about jokes being too funny. Okay. Enough of my silliness. So as you can see, I lay down glue. I use the stick to lay things in place. Sometimes I also use the stick to get out the excess. And as you can see, this jump ahead a bit because I had the niece in the shop and didn't want to, risk her getting the shot. So I went ahead and I just did some even more planking. There's another skip that happens later because the wife walked into the shop and, well, she didn't want to be on camera, so I was like, okay. Yeah, there I go. Now, once again, using that calipers to make the measurement, just because I had pretty much run out at that point. And had used the last one of these. And even these I actually run out of and have to grab a plank worth more. I'm not sure I should call them plank. I guess plank's the only word I've got. Or strip. There we go, strip. That works better because they're all strips. They're small. Should I call this planking then, or stripping? Thought you were supposed to play poker first if you did that. Or was it 52 pickup? Or was it Twister? Oh, no, wait, Twister is what you do after. I'm really trying here, guys. I hope somebody comments and says, yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of the monotonous stuff. Okay, if the rock music turning on just there is a sign of anything, it's a sign that we do it that way. Bad news if that happens is it's going to be longer interval between the videos because what's monotonous, what's not. Although at least I'll be able to have a better production value. That's a good thing. Maybe multiple camera angles, all that goodness. Yeah, production value goes up, but the release cadence goes down. Oh well. We'll see. Come on. So yep, there I go, and you'll see me once again at some point very soon, cutting out the forward mast hole with the scalpel. You'll also see me a few times. You might even catch it on the slow-mo. That scalpel ends up going into me more times than I want to admit. I thankfully removed the associated screaming and swearing from the video. Although that would have spiced this up. Too spicy for YouTube, but it would have spiced it up. Maybe O should be amused. Alright. So, as you can see, this thing finally fell apart. Can't have the thing supposed to be holding my stuff in an organized fashion falling apart on me and making more of a mess. So now I have to handle this instead of finish this bit of decking here. But it's almost done. Hopefully I have enough motivation, time, and wherewithal to at least get that done for y'all today before putting this up on YouTube. But right now, I gotta do some reorganizing. Good news is, since it is Father's Day, the wife was so kind as to provide a tremendous bit of assistance in that endeavor. Much obliged, hon. Thank you. And with that, time to do some organizing off camera, because, well, seriously, is anybody going to watch a YouTube channel of somebody essentially cleaning his room? I doubt it. I don't know, though. I mean, at this point, guys, we have watched a guy just planking for... Okay, if it was like 20 minutes, multiply that by 20, and that's how long the bout that this took in real life. So, yeah, 20 times 400, so we're talking about, there's the 5, 6, we're talking just short of 7 hours. Huh. Doesn't seem so long now. Then I remember, like, everybody at every job has days where it's just like, you look at the clock, and it's like 9:01. Then you go down, you do some work, you look back up, and it's 8:59. How does that work? Okay, I don't think I've ever remembered that actually happening, but anyways. So there we go. Now now that I'm done with the planking, I also start filling in the bottoms of the cannon holes, because to level it up with a deck. That's what the instruction said to do. So I'm just using these thin planks as this camera slowly but surely over time decides to tilt further and further downward. Yeah, so I did the reorganizing the shop, and I did an old trick where I put this camera on top of some of the plastic things. I guess it just didn't get that good grip that I was hoping for. I really got to make some kind of boom arm or something for this thing, just so get the better angles and make my life easier in getting them. So I'll see if I can't do that. Maybe that'll be a project. Or, just modify like one of those lamps or something. But, well, oh boy, there we go again. Put it back, and then it falls down. Hey, it stayed in place this time. Let's see how long. See it, there we go. Fiddle with the tweezers. Fiddle a bit with the phone, because, again, I listen to, YouTube when I do this stuff. And then the screensaver plays games with me again. There we go. At least I found a way to rescue myself this time in the editing booth. That happened twice this video. I guess my computer has a shorter attention span than I do. Which is saying something, because I've actually been diagnosed with ADHD. Alrighty. But anyways, looks like we're rapidly approaching the end of this. So, if you stuck by this far, you're a beast. Thank you. Wow. And, yeah. Please do comment if I should continue this way, or if I should go the way others have gone, which I'm beginning to suspect is the smarter option. Alright, thanks very much for your time, and now I'll lead you out at normal speed. Alright, so, as you can see here, we've got this decking done. We've started the evening out of all the cannon holes, and even got through almost half of them. Next time I'll obviously have to do the half of them, and then get to this part of the boat again, hopefully make it a little better this time. So, for my first boat, well, wooden model boat anyway, I think it's coming along alright. Not as good as it could be, sure, okay, but a lot better than it could have been, so that's good. Anyways, so that was this episode, though, so till I see you again, I am Rich, this is my show, Max Models, and now it is time for the YouTube dance of like, share, subscribe, hooray! Alright, peace out, and I hope you enjoyed.